All right. So today we're taking a deep dive into 21 Letters on Life and Its Challenges
Okay.
by Charles B. Handy.
Yeah.
And, I think most people probably know him as kind of like a management thinker, social philosopher, that kind of thing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
this book is super interesting.
Yeah.
It's written as a collection of letters to his grandkids
Yeah.
about navigating life. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, obviously there's a lot of wisdom in there for anyone, really,
Absolutely.
not just grandkids.
Yeah.
We've got summaries of some of the key chapters.
Okay.
And I think you're going to find like some seriously useful stuff in here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Where should we start?
Well, he really starts off strong, I think,
Okay.
with this idea of reflecting on your journey.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just tell you to do it.
Right.
He gives you a practical tool.
Cool.
He calls it the life balance sheet.
A life balance sheet.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like a financial balance sheet, but for your life.
Okay.
You look at your assets.
Yeah.
So your skills, your experiences, your relationships, and then you look at your liabilities, your
Yeah.
weaknesses, your fears, things holding you back.
Right.
It's a way to get a really clear picture
Yeah.
of where you stand and where you want to go.
So it's not just about looking back.
Right.
It's about using that reflection
Right.
to make decisions about the future.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And what's interesting is that
Yeah.
he himself
Hmm.
made some major career shifts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he left a stable corporate job to become an independent consultant and author.
Wow.
That's a pretty big leap, you know?
Yeah. Definitely a risk.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it paid off for him.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I'm curious, though. I mean, did he worry about uncertainty
Yeah.
at all? I mean, making that
Uh-huh.
kind of change?
Yeah.
It's got to be a bit scary, right?
He talks about it, actually.
Oh, okay.
He compares navigating uncertainty to sailing in uncharted waters.
Okay.
So it's not about avoiding the waves, but about learning to ride them.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, and he seems to suggest that
Mm.
being comfortable with uncertainty is a skill you can develop.
So maybe instead of resisting change,
Yeah,
we should just try to get better at adapting to it.
I think that seems to be his point.
Yeah.
And it ties in nicely with his emphasis on lifelong learning.
Yeah.
He sees change as an opportunity to learn and grow.
I can see that. What do you think?
I mean, change forces you to learn new things,
Right.
right? To adapt.
Yeah.
But that also means being open to new experiences,
Mm.
stepping outside your comfort zone,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
I think that kind of leads us into another big theme in the book, right?
Right.
The value of work and meaning.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
He talks about work as a vocation,
Uh.
something that aligns with your values and passions.
Mm.
But he also acknowledges that not everyone has the luxury of finding a job.
right.
That feels like a true calling.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
And that's where I guess his idea of a portfolio career comes in, right?
Yeah.
Having multiple streams of work,
yeah.
maybe a mix of paid and unpaid,
Mm-hmm.
something that keeps you engaged and growing.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, some people might say that specialization is more valuable in today's world.
Right.
What are his thoughts on that?
He doesn't dismiss specialization entirely,
Okay.
but he argues that a portfolio career allows you to explore different interests,
Yeah.
develop a broader range of skills,
Mhm.
and be more resilient in the face of, economic shifts.
Right.
So it's about staying adaptable
Yeah.
and finding fulfillment in different areas of your life.
So it's about
Yeah.
having a more holistic approach to work
Exactly.
rather than just focusing on climbing one specific ladder.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah, for sure.
But what about relationships?
Oh, yeah. Where do they fit into this whole equation
Right.
of a meaningful life?
Well, he dedicates a whole chapter to that.
Okay.
He calls human connection
Mm.
the fabric of a fulfilling life,
Oh, okay.
contributing to both personal happiness and professional success.
I like that.
And he highlights 3 key ingredients
Oh,
for
wow.
building strong relationships:
What are they?
empathy, communication, and mutual respect.
Okay, so let's break those down.
Great.
Starting with empathy.
Yeah.
How does he define that in the context of relationships?
Well, he talks about it as the ability to truly understand
Yeah.
and share the feelings of others.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about, being nice.
Okay.
It's about stepping into someone else's shoes,
Right.
seeing the world from their perspective,
Okay.
and really connecting on a deeper level.
So it's about building a connection based on
Yeah,
genuine understanding, not just surface level interaction.
exactly.
Right.
And he actually shares a story
Oh, does he?
about how empathy helped him resolve a conflict with a colleague.
Okay.
He doesn't go into specifics,
Right.
but he emphasizes that taking the time
Mm-hmm.
To understand the other person's point of view
Right.
was crucial in finding a resolution.
I can definitely see the value in that. Not
Yeah,
just in work relationships, but in personal ones as well.
absolutely.
What about communication, though?
Right.
How does that factor in?
He sees communication as more than just exchanging information.
Yeah.
It's about active listening,
Yeah.
expressing yourself clearly,
Yeah.
and being open to feedback.
Okay.
He even argues that good communication
Yeah.
can be the key to better teamwork
Right.
and more innovative solutions.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
I've definitely seen how miscommunication can, like, derail a project
So sure.
or cause tension in a team.
Right.
So how does he suggest we improve our communication skills?
Well, he stresses the importance of clarity and honesty.
Okay.
Be upfront about your intentions. Listen carefully to what others have to say
Right.
and be willing to admit when you've made a mistake.
Yeah.
It's about building trust through open and respectful dialogue.
Okay, so empathy helps us connect.
Mhm.
Communication helps us understand each other.
Right.
And that brings us to the third ingredient,
Yeah.
mutual respect.
Yeah.
How does he define that?
He talks about recognizing and valuing the individuality of others,
Okay.
appreciating their ideas and contributions,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't always agree with them.
Right.
He actually shares an anecdote
Oh, okay.
about a time when he had to work with someone whose views differed drastically from his own.
Okay.
And instead of dismissing their perspective,
Yeah.
he made an effort to understand where they were coming from.
Right.
And that actually led to some unexpected breakthroughs.
That's a great example of how respecting different viewpoints can
Yeah.
actually lead to more creative and effective outcomes.
Absolutely.
It's like instead of seeing disagreement as a roadblock, it can be an opportunity for growth and innovation.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And Handy believes that mutual respect
Mm-hmm.
is the foundation of trust,
Yeah.
which is essential for any lasting relationship,
Right. Perfect.
whether personal or professional.
It seems like these three ingredients, empathy, communication, and mutual respect,
Yeah.
they're all interconnected. You can't
Right.
really have one without the others.
Exactly.
Right.
They work together
Yeah.
to create a solid foundation for strong and meaningful relationships.
And speaking of strong foundations,
Yeah.
Handy also spends a lot of time talking about the importance of integrity and authenticity.
Right.
What's his take on those qualities?
He sees them as essential for both personal happiness
Okay.
and a sense of self-respect.
Yeah.
He defines integrity as staying true to your moral principles,
Mm-hmm.
even when faced with challenges or pressure to compromise.
Right.
So it's about doing the right thing,
Yeah.
even when it's hard.
And it often requires courage, too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
To stand up for what you believe in,
Yeah.
even when it might be unpopular or
Right.
put you at risk.
He definitely acknowledges that.
Yeah.
He talks about a business leader
Okay.
who faced immense pressure to engage in corrupt practices,
Wow.
but refused to compromise their principles.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, that leader earned more respect
Okay.
and success because of their integrity.
That's a powerful reminder that doing the right thing is ultimately more rewarding than
Wow.
taking the easy way out.
For sure.
But what about authenticity?
Right.
How does that play into all this?
He sees authenticity as the essence of being true to yourself,
Okay.
living in alignment with your values and beliefs,
Yeah.
even when they might clash with societal expectations.
Right.
He acknowledges it can be a struggle,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded
Yeah.
with messages about who we should be and what we should be doing.
It's like that internal battle between
Yeah.
wanting to fit in
Yeah.
and wanting to be true to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Handy encourages us to embrace our individuality, to have the confidence to be ourselves,
Mhm.
regardless of external pressures.
Yeah.
He argues that true happiness comes from living authentically,
Yeah.
even if it means going against the grain.
That's a message that really resonates with me.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people struggle with that pressure to conform, to
Right.
be what others expect them to be.
Yeah.
And it can be incredibly liberating to embrace your true self
Yeah.
and let go of that need for external validation.
He actually connects integrity and authenticity,
Okay.
arguing that they reinforce each other.
Okay. How?
So being authentic requires knowing your values
Mm-hmm.
and living with integrity is more meaningful
Yeah.
when it comes from a place of authenticity.
So it's a virtuous cycle.
Exactly.
The more authentic you are,
Mhm.
the easier it is to live with integrity.
And vice versa.
Right.
But how do you actually cultivate these qualities?
Oh,
How do you become more authentic
Yeah.
and live with more integrity?
Well, he emphasizes the importance of self-reflection,
Okay.
taking the time to examine your beliefs and values, to understand your motivations,
Yeah.
and to ensure that your actions are aligned with your core principles.
Okay.
He also talks about the importance of being honest with yourself
Right.
and others,
Mhm.
being willing to admit when you're wrong,
Right.
and being open to feedback.
So it's a continuous process of self-awareness and growth.
Exactly. And it's not always easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But he argues that living with integrity and authenticity is ultimately more rewarding, even if it means making difficult choices or facing challenges along the way.
It sounds like a lot of his philosophy revolves around this idea of lifelong learning and growth,
That's right. He dedicates his final letter to this concept.
emphasizing that learning doesn't stop when you finish school.
Right.
It's an ongoing process
Yeah.
of curiosity, exploration, and self-improvement.
And he encourages us to embrace,
Mhm.
like, a beginner's mind,
Yeah.
that sense of wonder and openness to new experiences that we often have as children.
Right.
How do we hold on to that as adults?
He suggests staying curious,
Okay.
asking questions, seeking out new information and experiences,
Right.
and being willing to challenge our assumptions.
It sounds like a lot of it comes down to mindset.
Yeah, I think
Choosing to see the world
that's
as a place of endless learning opportunities rather than getting stuck in our routines and comfort zones.
absolutely. And he emphasizes that learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge.
Right.
It's about applying that knowledge to grow as a person,
Okay.
to become more adaptable, resilient, and fulfilled.
And that can involve seeking out mentors and role
Yeah.
models, people who can guide us and share their wisdom. Yeah.
But it also requires a willingness to learn from our own experiences,
Absolutely.
both successes and failures.
He actually recommends keeping a journal
Oh, really?
as a way to reflect on your experiences, process your emotions, and gain insights from your actions.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I found that writing things down can really help
Yeah.
to clarify my thinking and identify patterns in my behavior.
Absolutely. And it can also help you track your progress over time.
Right.
It's like having a record of your own personal growth journey.
So it seems like his message is all about
Yeah.
embracing the journey of life with all its twists and turns and using every experience as an opportunity to
Yeah.
learn and grow.
That's a great way to sum it up.
Yeah.
He encourages us to be active participants in our own lives, to make conscious choices,
Yeah.
and to strive to become the best versions of ourselves.
It's a powerful message.
And one that's incredibly relevant in today's world,
Absolutely.
where change is constant
Right.
and uncertainty is the norm.
Yeah. It's about finding that inner compass that guides us through the challenges and helps us make sense of it all.
Exactly.
And it's a journey that's unique to each of us.
Right, for sure.
So
Yeah,
I think,
Yeah, let's move on to some of the other chapters.
right, it's really fascinating how he weaves together all these different threads,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like reflection, change, work, relationships, integrity, authenticity,
Yeah.
learning into
Yeah.
this like cohesive philosophy for life.
It's not just about achieving success.
Right.
It's about living a meaningful and fulfilling life
Yeah.
on your own terms.
Exactly. And he really emphasizes
Yeah.
that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. You know, what works for one person might not work for another.
Of course.
It's about finding what resonates with you,
I would-
what aligns with your values and
Yeah.
aspirations,
Right.
and creating a life that reflects
Mhm.
who you truly are.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive
Yeah.
into Handy's 21 letters,
Right.
let's try to distill some key takeaways
Okay.
that our listeners can actually put into practice. What stands out to you as the most actionable advice from the book?
I think his concept of the life balance sheet
Yeah.
is a great starting point.
Okay.
You know, taking the time to assess your strengths, weaknesses,
Mhm.
overall life satisfaction
Yeah.
can provide some valuable insights
Right.
for decision-making and goal setting.
That's a really practical tool. It's
Yeah.
like
Mm.
taking inventory of your life
Yeah.
and figuring out what's working and what needs adjusting.
Exactly.
Right.
And his advice on embracing change and uncertainty
Yeah.
is also incredibly relevant, I think, in today's world.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of fearing the unknown,
Right.
we can learn to see it as an opportunity for growth and innovation. Cultivating adaptability and resilience can help us navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life.
I like that.
And finding meaning in our work
Yeah.
is another key takeaway.
Right.
Whether it's pursuing a passion project,
Mhm.
finding a job that aligns with our values,
Yeah.
or embracing a portfolio career.
Right.
We can all strive to find work that brings us a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
I think that's really important.
Yeah,
And building strong relationships
absolutely.
based on empathy, communication, mutual respect is
Yeah.
essential for both personal happiness
Yeah.
and professional success.
Mm-hmm.
Investing in those connections
Yeah.
can enrich our lives in countless ways.
And finally, living with integrity and authenticity
Yes.
allows us to show up as our true selves in the world,
Right.
to make choices that align with our values,
Mm-hmm.
and to create a life that feels meaningful and true.
So it's about being honest with ourselves and others,
Yeah,
having the courage to do what's right,
absolutely.
and embracing our individuality.
Even when it might be challenging.
Right.
Okay, so
Mm.
as we leave you to ponder all of this wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
we'd like to leave you with a question
Okay.
that Handy poses in his final letter.
All right. What is it?
If you were to write a letter to your future self,
Okay.
what advice would you give?
Mm-hmm.
What lessons have you learned along the way
Yeah.
that you want to remember
Okay.
and carry with you?
That's a powerful exercise
Yeah.
in self-reflection.
Right.
And it might just inspire you to write your own letters.
Yeah.
Sharing your hard-earned wisdom with
Yeah.
others who are on their own journeys.
I love that.
So thanks for joining us
Yes.
on this deep dive into 21 letters on life and its challenges.
We hope you found something valuable in Handy's insights.
Until next time. Yeah, it's like he says, you know what works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
It's about finding what resonates with you,
Yeah.
what aligns with your values and aspirations.
And creating a life that reflects
Yeah.
who you truly are.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into Handy's 21 letters,
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the key takeaways
Okay.
that our listener can put into practice?
Well, I think his concept of the life balance sheet is a
Yeah.
good place to start.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
taking the time to assess your strengths, weaknesses,
Right.
your overall life satisfaction
Yeah.
can provide some valuable insights
Right.
for decision-making and goal setting.
That's a really practical tool.
Yeah.
It's like taking inventory of your life
Yeah.
and figuring out what's working and what needs adjusting.
Exactly.
And his advice on embracing change
Yeah.
and uncertainty
Right.
is also incredibly relevant, I think,
Oh, for sure.
in today's world.
Yeah.
Instead of fearing the unknown,
Hmm.
we can learn to see it
Right.
as an opportunity for growth and innovation.
Absolutely.
Cultivating adaptability and resilience can help us navigate those inevitable ups and downs.
And I think finding meaning in our work is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whether it's pursuing a passion project,
Mm-hmm.
finding a job that aligns with our values,
Right?
or embracing that portfolio career,
Yeah.
we can all strive to find work
Mm-hmm.
that brings us a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
For sure. And of course,
Yeah,
building strong relationships
right.
based on empathy, communication, mutual respect
Absolutely essential.
is key for both personal happiness and professional success.
Yeah, investing in those connections
Right.
can enrich our lives in so many ways.
And living with integrity and authenticity
Yeah.
allows us to show up as our true selves in the world.
Right, to make choices that align with our values.
Yeah.
And create a life that feels
Mm-hmm.
meaningful and true.
So it's about being honest with ourselves and others, having the courage to do what's right,
Absolutely.
and embracing our individuality,
Mm-hmm.
even when it's challenging.
It's not always easy,
Right.
but so worth it.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with a question that Handy poses in his final letter.
Right.
If you were to write a letter to your future self,
Hmm.
what advice would you give? What lessons have you learned along the way
Yeah.
that you want to remember and carry with you?
I love that question.
Me too.
That's something to really think about.
Yeah, and it might just inspire you
Mm-hmm.
to write your own letters,
Yeah.
sharing your hard-earned wisdom
Right.
with others who are on their own journey.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
into 21 letters on life and its challenges.
We hope you enjoyed it,
We hope you found some wisdom.
and we'll see you next time.